Salim awoke with a jolt, the strange orb still clutched tightly in his hands. It pulsed with a warm, golden light, casting dancing shadows on the walls of his small room. Just like in his dream, a calm voice echoed, not from the orb itself, but from somewhere deep within his mind. It said, "Kind boy, you may make one wish, but remember, every wish has a price." A shiver ran down Salim's spine. He held the orb closer and whispered into the quiet room, "What kind of price?" The orb gave no answer. Its brilliant light simply faded, dimming slowly until it was nothing more than a faint, warm ember. Like the last spark of a dying fire, he was left alone with the silence and 1,000 racing thoughts. The next morning, the sun streamed through his window, but Salim couldn't shake the feeling of the heavy orb in his pocket. He couldn't tell his mother; she would think he was imagining things. So, he went to the one place he could always think clearly, the deep, quiet forest just beyond his village. He found his favorite spot, a moss-covered log near a babbling brook, and sat down. He pulled the now dull orb from his pocket, turning it over and over. "If I wish for wealth," he murmured to himself, "Mother and I could live happily. We'd never be hungry again. We could have a real house, and she wouldn't have to work so hard." He imagined her smiling face, free from worry. But what if the price is something terrible? What if something bad happens to her because of my wish? The thought made his stomach twist into a knot. Suddenly, a twig snapped behind him. Salim jumped to his feet, his heart pounding. A man was standing there, emerging from the shadows of the ancient trees. He was tall and wore a heavy black cloak that hid his face, but as he stepped into a patch of sunlight, Salim saw his eyes. They weren't normal eyes; they shone with a faint, but unmistakable, golden light, just like the orb. The man's voice was raspy, like dry leaves rustling. "Ah," he said, a strange mix of surprise and sorrow in his tone. "You found the golden orb. I never thought a child, someone so young, would be the one to discover it." Salim instinctively took a step back, clutching the orb protectively. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. The man didn't move closer. A sad smile touched his lips, though it didn't reach his glowing eyes. "I was the last one to use it," he explained. "A long, long time ago." He gestured vaguely at the surrounding woods. "I wished for a life that would never end, for immortality. And my price? My price was eternal imprisonment in this very forest. I can never leave. I watch the seasons change, the trees grow and die, but I remain." He looked directly at Salim, his golden eyes filled with an ancient weariness. The man's words hung in the air, heavy and chilling. "The orb doesn't just grant wishes," he continued, his voice dropping to a near whisper. "It tests the heart. A selfish wish, a wish made only for yourself without thinking of the consequences, will cost you the very thing you love the most." He held Salim's gaze for a moment longer, a silent warning passing between them. Then, as mysteriously as he appeared, he began to dissolve. His form wavered, becoming transparent, like smoke caught in a sunbeam. In a blink, he was gone. All that remained was the echo of his last words, carried on the breeze, a whisper that seemed to come from the trees themselves. "Choose wisely, boy. The orb is listening." Salim stood frozen, the cold, smooth orb in his hand, heavier than ever before. He was no longer thinking about wealth or a big house. He was thinking about his mother, about the forest, and about the terrible weight of a single, world-changing choice. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more. See you in the next video.